Recently, from June 20th to 23rd, our Prime Minister went on a foreign visit to USA and did several important meetings with Joe Biden and various industry leaders like Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai, and many more.
With the advent of AI, the opportunity for India to make more progress is definitely exciting, and we're going to support the Prime Minister's vision there. His vision for digital India, was ahead of its time. I now see it as a blueprint other countries are looking to do.
And of course, most of you might know about it. But why we made this video? Because when Modi and Biden were giving interview to the reporters, there was this one last question asked by the reporter, after which the interview got ended. So, what was that question? Let's see.
Sir, my question is on the issue of climate change. Both countries have spoken about the challenge of climate change, but there is a view that ambitious targets are set, but implementation is found often lacking.
Basically, the question was that both the leaders have been talking about the climate change issues and has often set ambitious target, but still the implementation part seems lacking. To which Modi replied,
हमारे लिए एनवायरनमेंट ये आर्टिकल ऑफ फेथ है। ये जो क्लाइमेट चेंज के कारण जिस प्रकार का संकट आ रहा है, तो ऐसा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनना चाहिए जिसमें रेजिलियंस हो, और इसके लिए सीडीआरआई हमने एक ग्लोबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को जन्म दिया है। आपको मालूम है G20 देशों ने पेरिस में जो प्रॉमिस किया था, सभी G20 देशों में अकेला हिंदुस्तान है जिसने पेरिस में जो प्रॉमिस किए थे वो सारे प्रॉमिस पूरे किए हैं।
there's a lot to discuss about, but in this video we'll focus on what were the promises given by India to the Paris Agreement and how much of it have we actually achieved it. But before moving on, let me clear that neither I or this organization support any political party and expect you to watch this video without being biased, as there are two types of people. One, who support a political party and its belief no matter how much right or wrong it does, and then there are the ones who oppose the political party no matter how much wrong or right it does. Both type of people are harmful for the environment. Therefore, be open to everything and consciously take decisions. So, what is this Paris Agreement? Every year, the leaders and officials of a government of each country meet in a meeting called COP, or Conferences of Parties, where they discuss and take decisions on climate change. COP is held in different countries every year and has a president elected for that particular year who is responsible for managing that COP session and has a key role in guiding the parties in reaching an agreement on climate-related issues. By the way, do you know that this year UAE is holding Conferences of Parties, or COP28, and the president elected for COP28 is also the CEO of Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, or may I say the CEO of a fossil fuel industry. What do you think? Does COP really need this CEO? Comment down your thoughts. So just like every year, COP21 was held in 2015 in Paris, where India made three important promises to tackle climate change and limit the global warming temperature below 2 degrees. Promise number 1. India committed to reduce the greenhouse emission or carbon dioxide by 30 to 35% by the year 2030, like it was used to be in the year 2005. India aims to achieve this by reducing the carbon intensity produced by per unit of our GDP. In simpler terms, as our economy grows, efforts will be made to make our growth more energy efficient and less carbon intensive. India committed to achieve its 40% of electricity needs from non-fossil fuel sources like solar and wind energy, which acts as the best alternative in this rising temperature. India promised to increase its forest cover through afforestation and forest conservation up to a number which could sink up to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide. Okay, but what's the update to those promises? According to the Paris Agreement, every country must update their pledges every 5 years in order to make higher commitments in reducing the greenhouse gases. Regarding this, our PM set new target at COP26 in 2021, and that are in update to Promise 2 of achieving 40% of our electricity needs from non-fossil fuel sources. Modi now updated that India will generate 50% of its electricity needs from renewable sources by 2030. India will also increase its non-fossil fuel energy capacity to 500 gigawatt out of which India has already achieved installing more than 118 gigawatts of renewable sources as of September 2022. Our PM also committed that India should reach net zero by 2070. That means the amount of greenhouse gases released gets neutralized by the green cover and other sustainable practices. It's good to hear it, right? However, on one hand we see such a good progress, and on other hand we see thousands of acres of forest being cutting down to mine coal for electricity. Yes, I am talking about Hasdev. It is also known as Amazon to India. It is situated in Chhattisgarh. However, if you want to know more about it, check out the link in description. Climate change is not just about kitni garmi badh gayi hai yaar. It's about when a girl child just drop out of school because of climate change. It's about when Ramesh Bhaiya's income decreases just because of climate change. It's when we see birds drop dead out of sky just because of climate change. But it gets even worse when these politicians ignore their promises and policies that they make to combat the climate change. India has some really good policies to combat the climate change, but it needs urgency from our side, from your side. We need to make the government believe that these are real issues and government needs to act upon it. If the government stops at any place or forgets to follow any policies, we need to remind the government power of our vote and allow it to act upon these. But this only happens if we share awareness about climate change among everyone, our friends, our family, all the person we know. So share this video and plant trees on personal level, because remember,
और मैं चाहता हूं ये परंपरा बनी रहे, ये प्रकृति बनी रहे। सत्ता का खेल तो चलेगा, सरकारें आएंगी जाएंगी, पार्टियां बनेगी बिगड़ेंगी, मगर ये देश रहना चाहिए, इस देश का लोकतंत्र अमर रहना चाहिए।